If you are listening to this at midnight, I advise you make sure your bedroom door is locked tight. In my 20 years of investigating supernatural phenomena, I've always kept a cool head. My name is Jay, and I don't believe in ghosts until I find scientific proof. I came here to prove that the rumors were just products of the imagination. But last night, on the 4th floor of the Stanley Hotel, my logic completely crumbled. What I captured on that static camera at the end of the hall wasn't the wind, and it wasn't a hallucination. It was a warning. And I believe that when that door opened, whatever was inside followed me home. Let me tell you about this place. The Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, Colorado. Most people know it as the inspiration for Stephen King's The Shining. A beautiful colonial structure sitting alone amidst snow-capped mountain ranges. By day, it is magnificent and luxurious. Tourists swarm the place, laughter echoing through the main lobby. But when night falls and the blizzard outside begins to scream, the Stanley becomes a completely different world, especially the 4th floor. You have to understand its history. The 4th floor was formerly the quarters for servants and nannies. It's more cramped, the ceilings are lower, and the air is always thick with an indescribable oppression. Rumor has it that the spirits of children who once lived here still run down the halls, playing with uninvited guests. Tonight, I was granted special permission to stay alone on this floor. All guests were evacuated to the lower floors to facilitate the investigation. Just me, a monitor, a pot of pitch black coffee, and a long, tunneling hallway with 14 closed doors. The silence here isn't like the silence in your home. It's heavy. It presses against your eardrums, making you hear nothing but the thumping of your own heart. The clock struck 2:15 a.m., the time when the human body is most exhausted and the mind is most easily deceived. I sat at the command post set up right by the stairwell, my eyes glued to the black and white monitor transmitting a signal from Camera 3. Camera 3 pointed straight down the main hallway, facing room 401, the room most notorious for paranormal activity. Everything was still. The electromagnetic field, EMF, readings on my desk remained flat at 0.0. But then, I started to feel something was wrong. Not from the equipment, but from instinct. The temperature in the air suddenly dropped. I could see my breath forming a thin white mist, even though the hotel's heating system was humming along. Then came the sound. Very faint. Creak, creak. It sounded like fingernails scratching lightly against old wood. I took off my headphones to check if it was a mouse. But the sound stopped immediately. I put the headphones back on. Creak, creak. This time it was clearer. It wasn't coming from the walls, it was coming from the speaker connected to the camera at the end of the hall. Something was there, right next to my microphone. I leaned in close to the monitor. The resolution of the infrared camera wasn't high. Everything was grainy and bathed in a ghostly green glow. I held my breath, trying to spot any movement. A moth, a dust mote reflecting light, nothing. The hallway was completely empty. But wait, look at the door to room 418, located on the left side of the frame. You know those classic round brass doorknobs? The kind you have to grip tight and turn hard to unlatch. On the screen, I swear to you, that doorknob was turning. It was turning very slowly, deliberately, as if someone inside was trying not to make a sound. I tried to reassure myself. Jay, maybe the spring mechanism is broken. This hotel is over 100 years old. But my reason screamed in protest. To turn a heavy brass knob like that requires clear physical force. And then, click. The sound of the latch popping open rang out dryly through my headphones, making me jump. On the screen, the heavy oak door slowly cracked open. 1 inch, 2 inches, then it swung wide open halfway, revealing the pitch-black void inside the room. No draft, no shadow of a person. The door opened on its own, like a cold invitation. Professional instinct kicked in. I grabbed my flashlight and EMF meter, bolting from the command post. The hallway outside was much longer than I imagined. The sound of my footsteps pounding against the wooden floor echoed, shattering the silence of the night. "Is anyone there? I'm Jay," I shouted, my voice trembling more than I expected. No answer. Just the wind whistling softly through the window cracks. I approached room 418. The door was still ajar, exactly as I had seen on the screen. I stopped about 6 feet from the door. The cold here was bone-chilling. The EMF meter in my hand started spiking wildly, the red light flashing continuously, signaling a massive energy source right in front of me. I shined my flashlight into the darkness inside the room. "I'm coming in," I said loudly as a warning to whatever was hiding in there. I pushed the door hard. The flashlight beam swept across the double bed covered in a white sheet, the old wardrobe, and the red velvet armchair. Empty. Windows closed tight. Curtains didn't move an inch. No one hiding in the closet. No one under the bed. But there was one thing that made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. The smell. An overpowering scent of lavender, mixed with the musty smell of earth, hit me straight in the nose. The scent of a woman? Or something trying to mimic the scent of a human. I backed out, pulled the door to room 418 shut, and returned to the command post. I needed to review the footage immediately. Maybe I missed something. A fishing line? A prank by the hotel staff? I rewound the tape to the 2:18 a.m. mark. I zoomed in on the image to the max. Here's where the knob starts to turn. And here's where the door opens. But this time, watching it in slow motion, I saw a detail I had missed when watching live. Right at the bottom edge of the frame, where the floor meets the bottom of the door. There was a shadow. Not a full-grown person's shadow. It was small, low to the ground, only about knee-high. It darted past very quickly the moment the door opened. And the most terrifying part? The shadow didn't come out of the room. It had been standing in the hallway beforehand, waiting. It opened the door, and it walked in. When I ran down there and stepped into the room, I wasn't chasing it. I had locked myself inside with it. The EMF meter in my hand wasn't signaling energy at the door. It was signaling right behind my back. While I stood in that empty room, it was right in the corner, watching me. I left the 4th floor right after that. I didn't lock room 418. I didn't dare touch that doorknob one more time. They say the Stanley is haunted by happy memories. But what I felt last night wasn't joy. It was stalking. It was the patience of a predator. If you ever have the chance to visit the Stanley Hotel, go ahead and enjoy its beauty. But if you're walking on the 4th floor and see a door standing slightly ajar, never, ever walk over to check it. Because it's possible that whatever is inside is opening the door to invite you into its world. I'm Jay. If you want to see the original footage of the door opening by itself last night, something I haven't dared to release to the press yet, hit subscribe and leave a comment below. I'll be back soon if I can find the courage. Good night, and don't forget to check under your bed.